Hare Krishna, my name is Ameyatma. I was born in Russia in the traditional Sri Vaishnava family, and 38 generations my ancestors was brahmachari, Naitika brahmachari, and sannyasis. And usually when we start to introduce ourselves like this, people start to be curious, how it's possible. A sannyasi, 38 generations, Naitika brahmachari. Of course, it's joking. In America, people, they like to joke. And when we travel all over the America, and every time we spoke about this story. And actually is completely opposite, because if you can understand that Russia is not so favorable for spirituality, especially for now. And I'm grow in St. Petersburg. It's the second largest city in Russia. And he's very famous for weather, because the people in St. Petersburg, they counting how many sunny days they have. Maybe they have 4 or 5 or 6 sunny days in all the summer. And it looks like hell, because they have no sun, and Russians are very famous for drinking vodka and eating meat. And many stories also we can speak about this, but better don't waste time for all this explanation. And from childhood, I was good in numbers in school, and I was good in math. I'm studying quite good, and I learning some good lessons from my teacher, and they teach me very nicely. And because of that, I passed my examination as one of the best university in South Russia. But suddenly, our family member invited me to military academy in Moscow, because it was also prestigious. And this was like a prison in prison, because Russia is almost like a prison. And if you go to military academy, it's like another prison. It's like a prison in another prison, because military academies mean you cannot pass urine even without permission, because this is was very, very heavy discipline. And you cannot go anywhere without permission, and even if they will not give you permission to pass urine, and you cannot go. And it was quite heavy, because you should learn how to use these machine guns, and how to adjust yourself in very bad conditions. And for example, you should run in the forest when you have snow till your knees, and you should run miles and miles, and it's quite tough, but you don't have another choice. You should do this. You don't have another choice. If somebody can give you order, you should follow this order. You should execute. And because of that, you should learn discipline. And after a few years, my health became very bad, and they told me you cannot stay here, fortunately, and I became free. And after that, I understood I should gratify my senses, because when you have so many restrictions and difficulties, you want to go to opposite side. And I started to learn how to do nightclubs, bars, restaurants, how to manage them. And my projects, I take a part in some different projects, and one project became better and better and better and better. And finally, I understood no love in this material world, because people, they became rich, and they became famous, and they became prestigious, but still they have so much problems in their lives. And I saw this from inside, because the people who's visiting these nightclubs and restaurants, they're quite rich and successful. But if you will speak with them openly, they will tell you, like Prabhupada told, when some rich person going to some very prestigious job, and that same moment some gardener can have a sex with his wife, because he's working a lot, he's working like a donkey, but in same moment some unqualified, some poor guy, maybe not so intelligent, have a sex with his wife. And this is the reality. And I saw this from inside, and I understood this is not good way of life for me. And I try to stop, but it's not so easy, because you don't have another choice, you don't have an alternative, you don't have another variety of your lifestyle, because no one can tell you another way. It's like if you take a birth in Russia, no one can tell you like about vegetarianism. Almost people can tell you, if you will stop to eat meat, you will die. If you will stop to drink alcohol, vodka, you will die. You know. And if you will ask someone, do you know someone who is stopped to eat meat or drinking alcohol? They will know. No, we don't have it. We don't have like these examples. Or actually, we know. I know, like they can tell. Actually, we know at least one person. He stopped to drink and he stopped to eat meat, and he became crazy, and he almost died. And we like these stories. We can see. But it's almost impossible to imagine some different way of life. And because of that, I stopped to do my job, it's a crazy job, but I don't have another alternative. And again, my friends invite me to another project. And one day, my friend also invite me to some city nearby Siberia, and we start to do again a new restaurant, and she was quite famous, maybe most famous in that area. But then I again realized the people is cheating. This is the society of cheaters, prostitutes, and then drunkards, drug addictions, and this is very low class of people, actually, whatever, like who is living there. And one my good friend, he told me we should try to go India. For me, it was to go to India was to go to another planet. But he told we should try, and because he have experience to go, and he want to bring me also to India. And when somehow or other, it was like a crazy journey, but we reached the India. I was shocked to see another culture, another way of life, and we have so many experiments with some psychedelics and some sense gratifications. And he taught me some also very important lessons about renunciation. When he came, he took care about all our expenses. He gave like a house, the bike, all the expenses for restaurants, for nightclubs, everything. He paid for everything. But then he told me, from the very next day, you should live alone, and you should try to depend of only the energy, because at that time I realized that some energy who is in charge of all the creation exists. Because previously I never thought about this, but in that time when I was in India, this understanding gradually start to rise in my consciousness, because I realized that everything is working under some guidance. You cannot tell like everything is going some by chance. And I saw that all the creation in our activity is conducted by someone. I don't know who is it, I know where is he, but I know something is exists. Maybe is a, I don't know. In that time, I didn't think about it as if he's person or he's a not person. Where is he? Like, but I start to think like I start to accept that this idea, and then someone, some energy is under our understanding, beyond of our understanding, beyond of real material life, and. From the very next day, I start to pray to this is energy to give me opportunity to understand how it's working. And one day I came to one place. Only after many years I saw the photo from my previous life. Actually, in that time I did not understand what is the place is. But after many years I saw the photo, and this photo was from some Krishna temple. It was some chariot where Krishna and Arjuna sitting, and because of my ignorance I also sat in this chariot with Krishna and Arjuna and make this photo with my friends, because at that time we did not understand like what is this exhibition, and we swim in some ponds, and then I also realized this was like some holy places. We visited some holy places unconsciously, because India full of holy places. Wherever you go, you can see the many holy places unconsciously, because our Guru Maharaj have these lectures about Tirthakara, the Vishnu Sahasranam. He gave maybe 40 lectures about this name of Vishnu, and he told that actually we have tirthas and we have sages who is also tirthas, and when sages traveling from one place to another tirtha, from another tirtha to another tirtha, and the way it also became tirtha, because the dust from his lotus feet also like can liberate us, and they also can be like a tirtha. And this means wherever you go to India, maybe in that place some sages take a sleep and maybe take a prasadam, and we have some discussion. Maybe he stayed for some time and just stay here, and you can change your life completely. And after some time, when I spent in India, I learned many things. It's also, I can say so many stories, but I came back to Russia, like, the people who want to gratify senses in Goa, they coming for fun, and they have all these kinds of drugs and sex and everything, but after a few months you should go back to your country, and this country can be like some Russia, or it can be some Bosnia, or Sweden, or the US, and any country, but it is like you go high and you have joyful life, and you have so many friends, and your ocean and drugs and all these types of sense gratification, and then you should go back to reality, the gray, mundane reality with people who is working in factories and offices, and they're completely dissatisfied, they don't know what is real fun, and you go back and it's like a smashed your life, and then you should go your job, you should see all these gray faces in your country, your city. And I saw this is sense gratification. It's again and again, this is cheating only, because you can be happy for some time, but then you should go back to your mundane life. It's like Prabhupada also, he gave this example with hippies. They stay high forever, because hippies also, they know when you're using all this type of sense gratification, then you should go back and you should earn the money to purchase again this all this type of sense gratifications. It is not so easy. Some of them, of course, they have some rich families and parents, but still is very difficult. You see this hippie movement is stopped after some time, because they realize you cannot extend this so-called happiness for a long time. And when I came to Russia, I was quite different from myself previously, because almost all my friends, they know me like a crazy person, but then I became more crazy, because now I add spirituality in my life. And I met few people who also gave me some books about spirituality, and I started to read, and I more and more became renounced from all this crazy night lifestyle, because at that moment I worked in the most famous and richest restaurant in Russia, and I saw all these politicians, the football players, and some very the richest person in Russia. They coming and they spend few lakhs, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rubles. It's like for one bottle of champagne to open, do like this, and all, and drinking this like a hogs, and then vomiting same place, and drinking again, and taking drugs, and having sex in same place, and it is like completely rubbish. And I saw this, and I started shouting the people like, "What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life?" My friends is try to cool down, like they told them, cool down. You cannot speak like this with customers. But from that moment, I have like this decision in my life. I don't. This is the last opportunity to leave this crazy society. And this opportunity came. One of my good friend, he was kicked out from this project, and I told, if you want to kick out him, I also want to leave. They told, no, you should stay, because you can do so much money here, and you can do like a lot for this project, and you can be like in good position. But I leave. And we have another project also, and also the same, my friend also was kicked out from the project and also did same. And the third project was also with that good friend, and he also was kicked out, and I also did same. And for these three projects, I lose all my projects and all my job, and I leave. And at that moment, I start to read more, because I like to read from my childhood. And my mother told me when I was in school, like, if you will read all these books, whatever you need before when the starting year started, I can take you on the sea, and we can swim in the sea. When I was small in school. And I thought, okay, because I like to read, I read all the books, whatever I need to know in school days. And then I read much more, because I like to read. I read a lot. And when I have a time, after when I lose all this, my work, job, and I start to read a lot, to hear some lectures about some spirituality, like some psychedelics. And one day I left Moscow, and I came to my parents' house in South Russia. And that time my grandmother purchased one house, because they're shifting from another area. And they purchased this house from another family. It was old house, and they have actually two houses. And I asked, can you give me a second house? I want to live there. I don't want to have any association. I don't have any connection with money, with drugs, with this lifestyle. I want to live alone in the forest and do some reading, and to cool down a little bit. And I told, okay, you can take this house. And when I came to that house, I saw this big library. I saw these beautiful books. Some of them is written by like maybe more than hundreds years ago. And this is big library. I saw one beautiful book, and this book is like shining, this bright, like brilliant, shining like brilliant. I took the book and I asked my grandmother, what is the book about? And she told, I don't know. She told, I don't know, because I purchased this house with this library. I didn't check all these books. And I read the name of this book. It was named as Bhagavad Gita. And this was printed 1986. And I am also was born in 1986, and I was 30 years old at that time, and we waiting this meeting for 30 years. And when I start to read this book, I start to read like 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Only what I'm doing at that time, I'm only cutting wood and do some work in field, in the garden of my grandma, because they have a big garden and big field for vegetables, all these things. And in that time already I stopped. Before, a few months before, I already realized that the sex life is very bad, and I stopped to do sex life. The drugs is very bad, and I stopped to use the intoxication, and I stopped to all this gambling, because Russia is also very famous for gambling, for poker and something like this. And I stopped, and that in Moscow, even in Moscow, before when I met Bhagavad Gita, I stopped to use the meat. And when I started to read the book, I was so shocked, because I have so many questions. Why people is acting like this? Why the creation is like this? Who is the conducted this creation? And I have so many questions. And when I started to read this Bhagavad Gita, I was so shocked. All the answers is there. I started to read a lot every day. I started read. And then one my good friend, he called me from also one city nearby Siberia, and he told, you should help me to open. He's already opened one restaurant, and he told it, you should help me to run this restaurant. I told, no, never, don't ask me. I never want to go back to this lifestyle. He told, no, please, last time in your life I ask you, because you're my good friend. Okay. His name, I called him Tatar, and he invited me. And that time I already stopped to use any money, and even if I want to go from my parents' house to that my grandma house, I should walk like 20 miles. No, not 20 kilometers. It's maybe 15 miles. And like in the beginning, I stopped someone like to ask him, can you drop me in particular place? And people, okay, they can told, we call this auto stop, and they can drop me to one place and another, next, and finally I can reach the final destination, my grandmother's house. But then I found a few mantras, and I start to chant these mantras, and in my earphones I start to hear. It keeps something around 4 or 5 hours to reach from my parents' house to grandmother's house, 4 or 5 hours by walking. And I start to walk that distance and hearing these mantras and chant these mantras. And I chanting, and I stop to this auto stop. I thinking that why I need to stop someone, why I should to make some problems for the people, to ask them to drop me in a particular place, why I should disturb them. But some people, they start to stop nearby me and ask me, please, could you tell us, should we drop you, or you have your own way and we should not disturb your way? Like this. It was really amazing. People was from another dimension, because it's Russia, you cannot expect like this. And I told, okay, you can drop me. And one time and another time, and I gave them some prasadam. I start to offer some prasadam, like some strawberries or some blueberries or something like some berries. And and that time when my friend Tatar asked me to come to his restaurant, I also went by after stop, and it's like 2,000 kilometers. And after a few days, when I reached him, he also told, I want to pay you salary. I told, no, any salary, no money, I don't want. Okay, I will give you apartment, I give you all the food, all this. And I start to do all this again, restaurant things. And then I saw again there's people, they intoxicated and all these bad things. And one day I thought, no, I don't want to do like this anymore. And I stop all activity, all relationship. I close my door. I don't want to invite my friends because they try to come again with drugs, all these things. And I even stopped to eat because I don't want to put anything in my body, like any drugs, any alcohol, any food, any water, and this. And after 5 days, I realized like my body was completely changed. And in that moment, I thought I should to go to temple. I never visit temple in my life. I never mosques, like Muslims, like Christian temples, any temples, any church. I never visited because I was completely atheistic from my childhood. Every time when somebody can tell me about religious systems or some Christianity or some Muslims, I laughing like, that what are you speaking about? You have a sex with prostitutes, you have drugs, you have alcohol, and you're speaking about God. I also do like this, but I didn't speak about the God. I don't speak I'm Christian or things like this. It's completely bogus. How you can speak about God in the same moment you do some abominable activity? And laughing and smash all these things, I never can accept this. It's so stupid. And at that moment I realized I should go to temple, first time in my life. And I prepare myself to go to Hare Krishna temple. And that moment, unfortunately it was Sunday. I don't know how it came, but it was Sunday. And I take a bus. It was rainy weather, and everything is gray, and all this Muslim area, because it was Muslim area, Muslim region. It's not like exactly like Pakistan or Bangladesh or something, but still it was not so not so beautiful, not so like bright. And I went by dirty bus and dirty area, and when I reached the temple, it's like it was paradise, because all people who was inside was nicely dressed, beautiful, smiled, children's kids like running here and there, they're playing. One person had like big plate with watermelon, and he distributed this watermelon for everyone. It was like another planet. And I came inside, and one person told, "Oh, now his lecture will start. And I came to that lecture in temple hall. I didn't see the deities, I didn't see nothing. I saw only Vyasasana, and one lady was in Vyasasana, and she spoke about Vrindavan, and she spoke about the beauty of Vrindavan and about some sentimental things. And one person, later on, I met him, and it was our god brother. He was senior god brother, but in that moment he smashed her during the lecture about her sentimental things. It was so heavy. I was surprised to see in a spiritual society like that type of behavior, and I realized, no, I don't want to stay here because it's really like materialistic people. And I tried to run away from the temple, and one security guy, he was also a devotee, and he was very fat and big, and he told with smile, "I'm not allowed to go out for you." And I thought, no, I want to leave that place because I don't like this type of society. And he told, no, okay, I will allow you to go, but first of all you should take prasadam. I told, what is this? And he told, there's some spiritual food or something, like we cooked for Krishna. Oh, okay, I know, that's, yes, prasadam. And and I came to that place. They have some special place for newcomers, and they give some philosophy, and I like this because I read about this in Bhagavad Gita. They told me something again about the Bhagavad Gita, and they gave prasadam. One Mataji gave me pavitram. There's a Nrsimha Kavacha, because in that time I was like completely frustrated from all this lifestyle. And they told, you can come in some namahata during this next week. After maybe 2-3 days, we have some namahat. And I came, okay, welcome. And I came to that namahat a little bit earlier than is required, maybe in 12 noon. And one devotee was there. He only came from Maipuri Gurukul after 8 years in Maipur Gurukulam. And he was quite intelligent. He learned like a lot. And I started to ask him all my questions. And for next 8 hours, he gave me explanation about Krishna consciousness. He told me everything. And I was so happy. And when I leave that place, I was jumping and singing like a mad. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I start to jump on the street and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then next Sunday I came. This means first Sunday I came and they introduced me, and then next Sunday after 1 week I came second time, and I told them like I want to stay and believe in temple like a monk, because at that moment I cannot understand what the real monk life is. All my friends told that no, you cannot go, and I also cannot realize what is real. Because I cannot imagine to stay, but I don't have another choice. And they told them, we cannot allow to stay in brahmachari ashram because we don't know you. Maybe you're crazy, or maybe like you're, I don't know. And I was so shocked. How? Like, I want to stay, but you're not allowed. And I was disappointed, like anything. And I went out, and they ran to me, and they told, no, okay, you can stay. And but you can stay in a goshala for a few months or maybe a few weeks, and we will see but who you are. And I stay in goshala. I do some cow work and help the devotees. And every morning I attend Mangalarati. And after 3 days, one the senior devotee, maybe it was temple president or maybe some who is in charge of this temple, he told me, okay, you have you still have this desire to stay in brahmachari ashram? I told, yes. My desire is increase. And he told, okay, you can shift your things. And because in that time I have only pants, my t-shirt, and that's it, nothing else. And I came to that temple, and from the beginning they told me you should chant 16 rounds before Guru Puja. I thought, how is possible? But I started to chant immediately 16 rounds. It was maybe when I started to read Bhagavad Gita, it was March or April, and this was June. And it's been like 2-3 months, and it was in between. And I started to, because previously I already stopped all this abominable activity, sinful activity, and start to follow 4 regulative principles. And from that day I started to chant 16 rounds. It was amazing. I started 16 rounds and 40 rounds and 50 rounds and 64 rounds. When I first time chant 64 rounds, I came to temple commander and told, Prabhu, can I chant 64 rounds every day? He told, no, you should do some service also. But it was amazing, because this is a very amazing realization when you start to chant rounds more and more, like, and your day is completely in Krishna conscious, because maybe you cannot understand you do for Krishna, but you do Mangalarati, the Guru Puja, the Prasadam, the temple service, and the chanting, and reading so many books. And I start to read Srimad Bhagavatam. It was I'm waiting that time when I can open Srimad Bhagavatam and start to read all this Mangalarati time. I'm thinking, oh, after 2 hours I can open Srimad Bhagavatam and start to read, and then Guru Puja, oh, only few minutes, and then after a few minutes I can start to read my Srimad Bhagavatam. And every time I'm waiting, because that time I have deep realization that Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna is same. No difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna. I was suffering, like, because how is possible I came so late, Krishna already disappeared, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is already disappeared from this material world. How I can see them, how I can get the association with them? But then I realized the holy name is same and Srimad Bhagavatam is same. Now I don't have this realization because of maybe because of my offenses. But in that time I have deep realization that Krishna and holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam is completely same. And that time the devotees told me you can cook for deities. I was not initiated, but in Russia they don't have a strict standards for that, and I start to cook breakfast for the deities, and afternoon lunch also. And that time I never cooked in my life. They told me because I managed restaurants full my life, but I never cook in my life. Because if you're working in restaurants and nightclubs, you can get any food free, because when you're a manager, you can get anything free, like alcohol, the drugs, and then and food actually. I never cooked in my life. Once in life I cooked rice, and it was became like porridge, you know. And when I started to cook, I take some books about the cooking. And I showed that first of all you should boil the water. Okay, boil the water. Then you should put the grains and put the grains, and then you put this masala. Okay, I will put this masala line by line, line by line. But I completely absorb my consciousness. I should cook perfectly for Krishna, and it was Gaur Nitai. As it keeps so much time for me to learn how to cook, and still I'm not so good with this, but this was my attempts to do something for Krishna, because I do my sadhana, I cooked my breakfast, and then I should clean all these pots, and then immediately I should start to cook lunch prasadam, and I cooked this and I cleaned the pots, and then I left for book distribution. And day by day I did like this, and then the big deities came and they told, okay, now we have like another type of standard. You cannot cook for deities without initiation. And I was so happy because now I can do my book distribution without any restriction, because I pray for Gaur Nitai, I want to do books, I want to do books, I want to do books. And then finally they told me, you're not allowed to cook anymore for the deities. And I concentrate only for book distribution, because I read in Srimad Bhagavatam and in other scriptures, if you do book distribution, you can grow spiritually very fast. And I realized I should focusing on a book distribution, and I start to do book distribution every day. And I have good friends of mine who taught me how to do this, who inspired me, who gave it taste. The few devotees from Kazan, from Tatarstan, they learned me and taught me how to do the books. In Tatarstan, you know, this is a Muslim area. It was extremely difficult, but it still is possible. But after some time, when I start to, one devotee again asked me, could you help us to do restaurant, Govinda's restaurant? I told, no, Prabhu, I don't want to do any job. I want to concentrate on the chanting and reading and do books. And he told, no, you should help us, because we don't have another way. Otherwise, I can close my Govinda's restaurant. Okay, and I start to help him with this restaurant. And again, I saw even devotees, but they don't like to work properly, and then I cannot acting with them like in karmic society, because in karmic society can kick out anyone if they don't follow my order, and they can change another person. They can do like this, like karmic society. But in devotee society, you cannot do like this. and they also lazy, not professional, because you should make all this service with devotees because they're devotees. You cannot invite the professional people. You should invite because they're devotees, because they don't have another choice. And after some time I realized better to make karmi professional, to be a devotee than devotee to to try to change the devotee and make them professional. And I asked this friend Tatar who invited me to that place to come, because he was extremely professional. He's one of the best person in Russia. And I invite him, and I start to feed him with prasadam, and I start to give him Krishna Katha. And that time I spoke about only Krishna, 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 Krishna. I read Krishna book, and I spoke all the stories every day, him prasadam and stories. And he told, actually he still run this the most famous restaurant in that area. And when people is coming to him and told that we need this type of meat, this type of alcohol, and he told, no, better to take these vegetables, better take this some juice. And they told, you're crazy. We need this alcohol, we need this meat, beef, all these things. They told, no, better to take vegetables, better. And finally, they realized he became crazy, and he left this job and joined this Govinda's restaurant. He started practicing 4 regulative principles, 16 rounds, and his Muslim family was completely against this. They told, what are you doing with our son? You spoil him. I like this, like you're a bad guy. They was so angry. But finally his father became completely sick, and he almost died. And we told him, Prabhu, you should chant Hare Krishna, otherwise you will die. And he told, it is only my last opportunity, because doctor had told you have to die very soon because of his heart. This was completely bad condition. And he started to chant Hare Krishna, and he became healthy again. And he started to preach Hare Krishna among all his big family. And it was really crazy. So this is Govinda's restaurant. Was also changed my life, because I started to preach by prasadam. And my brother, he was completely against it. And when I joined Hare Krishna, he told, you're crazy, why you leave our family? You should come back and again to do your normal life. Normal life, it's mean like drinking alcohol, eat meat, have a sex, this hawk and dogs activity. And I told, no, I don't want to come back. And I asked my brother, when I was in this restaurant, I asked him, could you help me to distribute some books and prasadam amongst our relatives? And then I sent it from this city to my city, all these books and prasadam sweets. I cooked by myself the sweets in the restaurant. It is extremely beautiful and tasty sweets, and hundreds and hundreds. I sent it by one person, because in Russia, if you travel from one city to another city, you can make some announcement like you can invite some people to be with you on this way, on the journey, because they can pay some symbolic money for that journey. And that person also makes some announcement on the internet. And I told, okay, I don't want to go with you, but I want to send some things with you. And he came to pick up these sweets and books and prasadam for my relatives. And he was like a vampire, this blackish, very ugly, like from hellish planets. And devotees told me, you want to give him all this prasadam and the books, maybe he will not bring this, and he can take this for himself. But I go, no problem. If he will take all this prasadam, he will be Krishna conscious and it will be perfect. But finally he brought all this prasadam to my brother. And when he called me, he told, like, he spoke with me not like this hellish citizen. He spoke with me like completely different person. When he did the seva, he completely changed. I was again and again happy to see how it's working. This is process of devotional service. And my brother started to distribute by my, I asked him and to distribute, and he distributed all these things. And one day he told, I want to go to Istanbul, to Turkey, to have some vacation. I told, why you need to go to Istanbul to get this fun? Better to come to our Muslim area. There are also Muslims there, and be with me. And he came to this Muslim area, and he stayed with brahmachari in brahmachari ashram with me. It was good experience. And gradually he started to speak with devotees, to have association with them. And then after some time he joined brahmachari ashram with our god brother. This our god brother I also was with him for some time. I advised for my brother to join him, because when I was in this temple in Tatarstan, after some time I started to hear the lectures, and one devotee came to me and he told, why are you hearing these lectures, this particular that devotee lectures? I told, this is because it's really amazing lectures. I like this lecture. But he told, do you know who's speaking this lecture, who giving these classes? I don't know. I don't know his name, but he's really good with philosophy, because I like philosophy. And he told, this is my Guru Maharaj. His name is Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. I go, oh, really? It's good. And he told, actually, we have Vyasa Puja after a few days. We would like to join. And Vyasa Puja was in temple, because in that time I was in a Govinda's restaurant, like a administrator. But at the same moment, I cannot live in a temple like a brahmachari, because they have a rule. If you have a job, even with devotees, you cannot stay, because they have different mentality, because it's completely not proper mentality to stay in brahmachari ashram. And they told you should stay outside. And this is outside, was in the house, also the same place where is the temple, maybe 50 meters from the temple. All the devotees who is like in the middle of the brahmachari and grihastha ashram, they stayed in this avadhuta ashram, and they told, you can stay there. And I stayed there, and one of the god brother, our senior god brother, told me, like, you cannot stay in the middle. You should join brahmachari ashram, or you should be like a grihastha. You should be not, because at that time I think it's very nice. You cannot be under the guidance of the temple commander, and you no need to be in the family life. It's very nice. Like, you can do whatever you like, no any obligation and responsibility. And he told, no, you're cheating. You're a cheater. You cannot. You're a rascal. You cannot live like this. And I told, okay. And I came to my Govinda's restaurant, senior devotee, and I told, my dear Prabhu, goodbye. I want to live in brahmachari ashram. And I joined this Vyasa Puja, and then I start to ask the seniors to give me pranama mantra, to give me opportunity to chant pranama mantra. And they told, no, we cannot give you, because this guru is not bona fide. No, what does it mean he's not bona fide? You are not following 4 regulative principles, you do illicit sex, you do intoxication, you do this, you do that, and you tell me like he is not bona fide? And I was so angry to hear these bogus things. And I told, I don't want to stay in this society. I don't want to stay with this type of people, because they completely offensive to my spiritual master. And I already want to leave that place. And one of my friend told, no, before you leave society, before you leave Krishna consciousness, you should go to our God brother. And I came to God brother, and I stayed with him, and he told, no problem, I have same problem, and actually in this our society is like this, because people is completely alias for people who is really practicing Shuddha Bhakti. And it was in Prabhupada days and the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati days. You can see the people who try to present message as it is, they every time not so favorable for mundane society, even it is like a spiritual society of ISKCON or something like this. And he brought me in a Shravanam Kirtanam fest, and I asked Guru Maharaj, can I go to Salem? And he told, yes, you can go to Salem. I went to Salem, and I spent the best 1 year in my life in Salem. It was very intense, because Prabhupada told, if you want to drive the bicycle, and you can go some speed, like some slowly you can go. But if you can if you can hang the bus, you can go the speed of the bus. But the Salem was like at the speed of the rocket. you can hang with the rocket, and it's very painy, very intense, but very fast. You can remove all your ignorance and false identification. I was so happy to be with devotees who very devoted to our spiritual master. And then I remember I asked them, can I ask Guru Maharaj about my question? And they was so shocked. You know, how's possible? You want to ask Guru Maharaj directly? They go, yes, so what is the problem? And they told that, first of all, you should ask the authorities. If that authority, like a temple commander, for example, cannot give you an answer, you can ask next one, and temple president. But then only you can ask our spiritual master. And I realized they're very respectful, all the devotees, all the leaders of our society are very respectful for Guru Maharaj, and they try to imbibe this mood. And Salem is very famous for this mood, very famous for the intensity of the service, and very famous for the mood of completely surrendering for our spiritual master, and of course to Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas. It was a good experience, because from the beginning, from the first day, they told, next day you have a seva. You should wake up early, like I should wake up 3 o'clock to take a bath and broom the temple hall, and then rolling the mats, like the big mats, so all the temple hall. And then when you did this before Mangalarati, you completely sweat, like you completely tired, because it's like a very intense, you should be very fast, because it's very limited time before Mangalarati. And after Mangalarati and 6 o'clock, you can chant when Mangalarati is finished till 6 o'clock, and chant a few rounds. And then after 6 o'clock, you should again take it back, all this mats and mopping and brooming again this space, and then again roll the mats, and again you're sweating. And this only was the beginning, because it's like a prayer service, and then you can get a wonderful breakfast. Every time you're waiting this breakfast to take this lemon rice, the tomato rice, the curd rice, and this pongo, and this is amazing, very beautiful and tasty food, prasadam. And then service started. You should you should clean the toilets, the bathrooms, and throw out the garbage and this, and then washing the pots. And this is continuously do from the morning till evening. In the evening time, even you should do pots. Maybe 6, 8, 10 hours a day you should spend for the very active service. But still we have enough time for reading and even take a little bit of rest. It's because you see another devotees what they did. You see the devotees who is cooking for Krishna. They cooking in some small kitchen where there are 4 stoves and the firewood, and everything is like a streaming. The stream is here, and this is very hot inside. And then in the hot outside also, because it's South India. And after they completely exhausted, and I remember one devotee we lived together in one room. He also was from Russia, and he cooked like every day every day, by day by day, day by day, day by day, and all the devotees cooked every day. And they, after this cooking, when they finished the cooked, they completely falling like this and falling asleep. And when you see another devotees, when they do crane under the sun, it was extremely hot from morning till evening, and you see this is devotees like they completely surrendered. And how we can escape this opportunity to be the part of this team? You cannot do anything else. You also try to best in your life. And after 1 year, and actually at that time I asked Guru Maharaj to give me initiation, and he gave me initiation in Srirangam. 2019, 2016 I came to temple in Tatarstan, and after 2.5 years, finally Guru Maharaj accepted me like his disciple, and still I try to serve him under the guidance. After that time, many things has happened, and actually one more accident I want to tell you. Before my departure for India to Salem, I was in this Muslim area in brahmachari ashram, and the devotees told we should go to Sadhu Sangha. It is the best and the famous festival, the biggest festival in Russia. And this is a group of devotees, brahmachari, 5 of us, sat in a car, and we traveled 2,000 kilometers to that festival. And I asked them, can we stop in our parents' house to give blessings them, to bless them, because of association. So many brahmachari came, thinking like it will be very helpful to my family to be more spiritual. But they was completely against this my activity, because they told that why are you living like this like a monk? You should be with our family. You cannot stay outside. What's wrong with you? And I told, actually, I'm happy now. First time in my life, I'm really happy, because before I have all this money and girlfriends and all this sense enjoyments. But first time in my life, I'm really happy. And we came to my parents' house, and I invite all my relatives. I told them, I have a birthday, please come to my birthday. They told that, no, you don't have a birthday, you have your birthday in another day. I told, no. It's another day, but I want to celebrate in this day. And I invite all my aunties, uncles, nephews, brothers, grandmothers, all of them, invite them. My brother, he cooked a feast, like a very big, amazing feast with all the rice and the kachoris and the sweets and all these beautiful items, maybe 10 or 15 items. And all brahmacharis was in spiritual dress, and we welcomed all our relatives, and they was extremely shocked. What is going on? What happened? And then we told, you please take this food. You just sit, and then, where is the beer? Where is the vodka? Where is the meat? No, what is going on? My uncle, one of my uncle, he invited me, and he told, what does it mean? What does it mean? He was so angry. And he's nervously smoking. Where is the alcohol? Where is the meat? Why you invite us? I told it, actually, you told me previously that you are my uncle, and if I have some difficulties in my life, you will help me you can support me. And I told that previously I have so much difficulties in my life, but now I'm really happy, and you should support me because you're my uncle. And they was completely angry, and all of them, they took prasadam, they get prasadam, and then we start kirtan. We start to sing kirtan, and they was completely frustrated, and many of them left, and finally we stopped the kirtan, the prasadam distribution. But it was an amazing experience to give this opportunity to know about Krishna for the people who is completely far, far, far away from any trace of real spirituality. And then my mother told, Actually, okay, I pray for you. I pray for Lord to give you the best, whatever He can give. And I pray for you and for your brother, because you have only 2 sons. And I told, yes, you can see, Krishna fulfilled all your desires. Now we're really happy. But she could not expect it. She cannot expect that her sons became a brahmachari and live like this way of life. But I told, we are really happy. And she told, yes, now I'm also happy because you are happy. And that moment she told, okay, you can leave, but at least you should keep 1 son with me, because I have brother also. But after some time, brother also became brahmachari, and still our mother she's saint. She's really saint, and she pray for us, and she accept us like we are now. And actually now she also finished 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and she helped us to distribute books, not on the street, but when we ask her to send or receive the books, because we have small gudon, some small book storage in our parents' house. She every time help us with that. I can tell many more stories, but what I want to tell, that it's possible even to be born in a hellish condition, like a Russia, like a prison, but still it's possible to get a chance to be with devotees, to practice Krishna consciousness. I don't know, it's really causeless mercy because of Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual masters, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But all of us, we have this opportunity, at least to see devotees in Harinam, to read the books written by Srila Prabhupada and his bona fide disciples. And we should get this opportunity to stay in devotees association. It is really rare for us, and it's very unfortunate when devotees can leave the society because of some misunderstanding. And my humble request I want to ask you, please chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.